Hey guys, Aaron here again. This time with the 210mm Gassan, probably butchering that, 210 blue number 2 steel gyuto. This particular knife is jacketed in stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about it rusting. Just the on the very edge right here. That's the blue core, carbon core, I should say. This knife is actually pretty tall for a 210, as you can see. That's a good substantial height. It's not. I would call it like in between a gyuto and a santoku in a way, in its its shape. It's not 100% like a gyuto, and it's not like a santoku. It's kind of, like I say, it's kind of a hybrid almost. The handle is Paka and dual riveted. It's not bad. It takes a little getting used to. It's not like your standard wah handle. It's a circle handle, oval handle, what have you. It doesn't, since there's no ferrule or anything like that, it just squares off right there. So with the pinch, it's not the 100% comfortable, but it is decently comfortable. It is I will call this a workhorse knife, probably like a good medium plus weight knife. There's no flex in this knife at all. This is a workhorse knife, bar none. The grind on it, if we can capture that. Yeah, like I said, on the grind on it, it's not laser thin. It is a workhorse knife, but whoever does their heat treat of these knives did a very, very good job. This Blue 2 will hold its edge really good. I think they take it to 63. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what they take it to. So, nice, good hard edge, good long lasting. It doesn't have a super thin grind at the tip. So, it's not like a laser, as I've already said. You're not going to be, you're not, if you're looking for that laser knife, this isn't it. It's a workhorse knife. It's really meant for taking down, abundance of product, taking a beating and coming back. But, that being said, let's cut a few things and we'll go from there. Incidentally, the knife was just touched up on Shapton 2K, 5K, and a quick trip to a 6,000 stone. I forget what the name of it is. It's like a 6. Feels like an 8. I forget what the name of it is. So since it's pretty good and sharp, we'll see how it does with edge retention with the cherry tomato. Yep, you can see, like I say, it's a heavy knife. You can hear it just by the clunk it makes. But like I say, if you're doing squash or something like that, you're gonna want that more weight. And like I say, I try not to do my videos with the knife straight off the stone anymore. Because that kind of will it go through a tomato with zero ease? Yes. But like I say, this edge I used it to work on poly boards. I've only really sharpened it, I think, twice to a full burr consistency. So and I've had this for probably 4 months. And it's been used off and on in my kit. So it's not a I'm not doing these videos while showing you a fully erased out edge. Unless I'm thinking, okay, I really want to show you guys what this thing can do from 100%. But like I say, most people, they want to see how the knife's going to use after some use and a few sharpenings. So that's what you're getting with this. like I say, it's comfortable wise. You know, I'd probably rate it out of 10. Probably a, I gotta say a low 8 to a high 7. You know, like as I said, it's not the most comfortable knife in the world. You know, there are certainly more comfortable ones, but you know, for the price point though, this knife's pretty hard to beat. A little radish. And like I say, just because it is a workhorse knife, you know, doesn't mean that you can't still do nice little fine detailed work. You know, you just have to, you know, take it down just a little bit more. You know, you just gotta, you know, be a little more used to the knife. And like I say, even though the tip area is not ground nearly as thin as a lot of knives I really like are, it's ground thin enough to where, as you saw, yeah, you can do, you know, the detailed work. Apple, as I did in the one video, and as my friend Salty says, they are a pain to slice, especially with the skin on, because, you know, it's like if you want to do something else that's really, really hard to do is certain types of pickles. You know, their skins are really, really, you know, slick and dense. So, as I say, one of the two will really show you what your knife's kind of made of. Through core and all. So like I say, that's the really good trade-off you get from, like, you know, if you're used to like white number 2, 1, or white 3, if you will. You know, blue 2 does have that really good edge retention that just that, you know, you get just a little more out of it than, you know, white 2. Not as much as Aogami Super Steel, but it's you will notice the difference between the two steels, white and blue especially. Potato stickage, like I say, once again, I don't cut a whole lot of potatoes at work and such, so, you know, when I do a lot of these times, you guys are seeing it just how it's going to perform with the non-stick test, same as me. Some stickage. So yeah, like I say, this one really doesn't have much of a convexing, as you can see. It might have a little bit, but if it does, it's not a whole lot to really make it a non-stick knife. It'll do it enough to where it doesn't, you know. So, yeah, like I say, so it's not 100% non-stick, but like I say, it's still good though. As far as profile goes, as you can see from this profile, it's actually pretty flat. I mean, the only, you know, belly you start to get is towards the upsweep here, and the rest of it's, so I wouldn't call this ideal for a rock and chop person. I mean, sorry guys, but this one, I mean, you can, but, you know, it just how flat it is, you know, as you come to, you know, you can't get real high contact off it, you know, off the board. So going through things like a real big onion or such, if you rock and chop, it's not really great. And as usual, gotta finish up the right way. And also, while I'm at it, I'll also kind of just tell you guys about how the other way, how I'll dice an onion. The normal way, first way, then the other way, the second way. Because believe it or not, even I don't always chop onions the same way. I'll kind of explain why I go into the second one. But so for the first one, like I say, and also how I do onions is actually a really good way to test how thin the tip is of itself, because it really does take a pretty good thinly ground tip to to swipe through the onion, how I do it. But if even if it is not ground real thin, you'll still be able to do it. It just might take a little more effort and such. So if you do that, watch your hands. As they say, in a race, this is always going to win. Sorry. So, like I say, it'll give you a brunoise onion. That's for sure. And not a whole lot of effort. I mean, that's basically a brunoise. So. And also, when I did the edge on this, I really didn't want to take it to like a super high grit, as I said before. I'm trying to at least kind of show you guys how to how the knife's going to react after multiple sharpenings, just touch-ups, not tossing on an entire new cutting edge, which you can do it if you're at home. It's going to last you substantially a lot longer than if you do pro environment, where you're using poly plastic cutting boards and such that just eat the hell out of your edges. So way number 2, and if you ask me, this is the only other way to dice an onion. I mean, a lot of people do it this way, and some the other way. I've seen all kinds of manners of way people dice onions. Some scare me to living death. Some work for their users, or so I'm not saying one's better than the other though. But for me personally, 2 ways. First way, as you saw. The second way, I actually really like this way if you're using onions that are more tall, because I've always found that if you do the slices like this, you really, a lot of times if they're real tall skinny onions, you're gonna go all the way through it. So that can get you cut, or it'll mess up your product because it'll start falling apart on you a little more. So with that, like Vidalias, a lot of times they'll be like the more thinner ones. So here's how I also dice an onion. Is just go about it this way. And also, I would say for a lot of people just getting used to using knives and such, this is a great way, because as you saw, there's no no vertical slices and such. It's all just a pull cut motion. You're in control of the speed with your fingers, and you gauge it by just backing up, and then stack it this way. I like to actually tip it over just so I got a new little berth. That's it. So there you go, guys. The Gassan 210 blue number 2 gyuto, or gyuto. What the hell else you call it? Yeah, it's a gyuto.